G'day, I'm Clive and welcome. Video today is about how I store my gear and why I do what I do, and also why it's important to practice putting your tent up. Now this is the Anaconda 2 and I've only put it up once or twice. A little bit fiddly. I've got other tents that are so much easier. Throw the poles, clip, throw the flyover, done. Now with this, with it being your trekking pole tent, you have to peg points out, try and get the pole in to balance it so it doesn't fall back over, or getting the pole at the right height to hold it. So I am going to have to practice a bit more with putting this tent up and taking it down also. Practicing putting it up is quite important, because if you get to camp and the weather's not looking the best, you want to get this done as quick as possible so you can get in and out of the rain or the snow or hail, whatever you've got. Best part about the Anaconda bags or stuff sacks is they're larger than they need to be. So most tents you'll roll them up, put a strap around it, force it into the stuff sack, and it stays compressed all the time. Now I don't like that idea, because if something's folded, you're going to have an edge on it, and the more you fold it on the edge, that point is going to get weaker over time than the unfolded. So that's one of the reasons why I don't always fold my tents the same way, and 9 times out of 10 or 99% of the time, probably closer to it, I just stuff them in the stuff sack and leave it at that. Now getting back to the stuff sack for this, the Anaconda 2 stuff sack, I can compress this down to less than half its size. Just to give you a quick idea, 3/4, so about halfway, and still going down and down and down. So when it's packed in the compressed state, that's going to be having pressure on it at all the time, and if you've got any creases in there, the same again, they are going to get weaker because it's just compressed. The best way I find, and the way I do it, is I keep the pack, as you can see, straps are loose, it's folded over once, there's still movement in the actual stuff sack, and the tent's not compressed, it's just quite loose in there, so there's no real tension on any part of my tent. There's nothing being forced. And the tents that come with the straps to hold, when you have to roll it up, you put the strap on it, tension the strap, and force it into your stuff sack. Again, that strap is going to have straight edges on there, going to be hard edges, and that's going to put pressure on your tent, it's going to put wear on your tent. And I don't know if you noticed, I've seen a few tents in the past where people have used it all night, go to wrap it away, and it's still got that strap mark on it. So looking at that, my opinion is that's damaged already, because it's not going flat again, it's just going to be creased. So the actual fibres of the material have been folded over and weakened, and they're not able to come back out. Now if I'm wrong and anybody's got the physics and science of it all, leave me comments below and explain to me. So yep, there's the reason why that is just left to expand. There's another one, I've got another tent close. Now this is the Cloud Up one. Can't really let that expand much more than it is, but I don't have a strap on my tent in there, and as you can see it's fairly loose. That's just lightly wrapped around the poles at the moment. What I will do eventually is I'll replace that stuff sack with something slightly bigger, so even if I just wrap it over and roll it up quickly, it's going to be able to expand in the pack or in the stuff sack. I don't always roll it in the same point. I've actually stuffed these in, I think, before. Yeah, it's rolled at the moment. That's it. I had it out the other day giving it a wipe down, and I just quickly rolled it up when I was on the counter. So it's not rolled up tight or anything like that. It's kept as loose as possible. So as you can see, no real hard bits. I can feel the poles going through the middle, and I think I can feel the pegs down here, which I don't normally do. I don't normally have the pegs on the inside. Now, as you can see here, carabiner on the strap, ground sheet less in the bag, pegs and extra guy ropes on the outside. None of it's going to get lost. It's all attached to here, so it's leaving me more room inside the stuff sack to be able to have it as loose as possible. So that's how I store them, and why I store them the way I do. So now I'm going to head out and practice putting this up once or twice and see what's going to be the easiest way for me to do it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and it's giving you an idea of how to pack and store your gear away, and why I think this is probably the better way of doing it. It might not be the best way, but better than keeping it all tightly wrapped up. And if you have and you're not already a subscriber, please go down below, click on the subscribe button, then click on the notification bell next to it and select all, and that way you can be notified of all future videos. And hit that thumbs up button, the like button. And if you are already a subscriber, again I thank you very much.